أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا ونبينا وحبيبنا ومولانا محمد صلى الله تعالى عليه وسلم وعلى آله وصحبه ومن اهتدى بهداه إلى يوم الدين فإن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله وخير الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله تعالى عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار ربي اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي ربي لا تؤاخذني مما يقولون واغفر لي ما لا يعلمون واجعلني خيرا مما يظنون أما بعد. My dear brothers and sisters in Islam, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Welcome to the House of Dua and welcome to our weekly presentations from the House of Dua. Today we are coming to you with a very basic hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam. A basic hadith, but hadith of monumental importance to all of us in the world that we live today. This is hadith number 7257 of Sahih al-Bukhari. It's also reported in the Musnad of Imam Ahmad and several other narrations. The hadith is reported by Sayyidina Ali radiallahu anhu, the cousin to the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam. According to Sayyidina Ali, the Prophet sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam said, La ta'ata fi ma'asiyatin innama ta'atun fil ma'ruf. There is no obedience to anyone if it amounts to disobedience to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What it means is that it is wrong to obey a fellow human being or a creature of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in doing what is wrong that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has prohibited. La ta'ata li makhluqin fi ma'siyatil khaliq. It is not proper, it is not allowed to obey the creature instead of the creator. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who should be obeyed. Every other creature of Allah, including us as human beings, cannot be obeyed unless they lead you to do that which is good. Innama ta'atun fil ma'ruf. The true obedience is obedience to do that which is good, which is al-ma'ruf, which is meritorious, and which is of general good to the society. That is what can be called a true obedience. My dear brothers, my dear sisters, we are bringing you this hadith today because of what is happening to this world. Nowadays, we find that people listen to and follow those they describe as their leaders in the society, even when those leaders lead them to do what is wrong. They order them to go and do what is wrong, they go ahead and do it. This is also very common among the youth, either as a result of love for their peers or because of the desire to belong. They sheepishly follow what their peers ask them to do, and when it catches up with them, they suffer the consequence, while those who lead them into doing that go scot-free. It's also very common in politics nowadays. Political leaders call on their followers to do that which is bad, which is evil, which is wrong, which is against the law. And unfortunately, such followers follow sheepishly to such instruction. They go out to do what they are told to do. And when the law catches up with them, they suffer, while those who lead them into such disobedience go scot-free. So many wars are also going on across the world today, being fought between nations simply because leaders of such nations order their citizens to go into such wars, even if such wars were designed for no just cause. My dear brothers, my dear sisters, it's important, therefore, for us to bear in mind that Allah has given us an intellect to be able to reason, to distinguish between what is right and what is wrong. We are encouraged to always follow that which is right, which is just, which is fair. We are expected to use our common sense in deciding whether the instruction that has been given to us is right or wrong. But this ability to use common sense is becoming very rare in today's world. So people copy others or follow others' instruction to do that, which is wrong. A famous musician in Nigeria in those days called such people zombies. They follow the instruction of their leaders without thinking about it. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has described such people in Surah Al-Araf. Allahun kolobun la yafqahuna biha wallahun ayunun la yubsiruna biha wallahun azanu la yasma'una biha ulaika kal an'am bahum adallu. They are the people. They have mind, but they can't reason. They have eyes, they are unable to see, and they have ears, they are unable to hear. Why? Because they are like a cattle. They are driven from one side to another. Wherever they are told to go, that's where they go. Such people are, in fact, people who have gone astray. That's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to save us against that. Let's not forget that those who supported Fir'aun and Natullah alayh, they had mind to reason, they had ears to listen, they had eyes to see, but still, they followed the instruction of Fir'aun. Why? Because of the fear they have of Fir'aun. My dear brothers, my dear sisters, we must not allow our fear of a human being to drive us to do that which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has asked us not to do. This is why this hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu ta'ala is very important. The reason is that when we get carried away by the instruction of those who want us to do wrong and we obey them in doing that wrong, when the consequences of such wrong come about, who suffers? It's you who carried out that instruction. You have to be very careful. You are the one who bears your own pain. Nobody will help you in bearing your own pain. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Man amila salihan falinafsi, wa man asa faliha, wa ma rabbuka bizalamin lil abid. Surah Fussilat. Whoever does good, that person will get the reward of that good that he has done. But whoever does wrong, of course, the punishment of that wrong is upon that person as well. So you are the one that bears your own pain. And when that pain is in you, no one can understand it better than you are. Consider the case of a woman who is in labor, for example. While she is screaming and in pain, the husband does not know what the labor looks like, doesn't feel the pain. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, when the person is dying, if you know you truly can save him, then bring him back. No, you can't bring him back. You don't know the pain he's going through. You don't know the journey he has started. You can't bring him back. Everyone will have to bear his own pain by himself or herself. Not even a husband can bear the pain of a wife. Not even a child can bear the pain of his or her father. Not even a brother can bear the pain of his or her siblings. My dear brothers, my dear sisters, we have to understand it because Allah has given us the intellect to reason. If you are not able to use your intellect, then of course, you will sheepishly be misled by other people to do that which is wrong. There's nothing wrong in voting for somebody. If you want to vote for somebody, go ahead and vote for somebody. But when the result is announced, and after all counts have been legitimately done, and the person insists that the vote was rigged, therefore call upon you to go to the street and start breaking doors and windows, and you obey such instruction, then of course you are on the wrong side. When the pain of that obedience comes upon you, that person will not be there to help you. Let's consider the case of what happened in the United States of America recently. Election was conducted in 2020. One person won, but the other refused to accept the result, calling it a big lie and spreading that big lie. Consequently, under his instruction, people rushed to the Capitol to vandalize the Capitol. Today, many of those vandals are in jail. Others are suffering injuries at home, while others have lost their jobs. But what of the person who instructed them to do that? going about scot-free. My dear brothers, my dear sisters, let's use our common sense. Let's not be carried away by what other people ask us to do. This is not limited to the United States of America alone. Look at Russia and Ukraine. For no justification, somebody marches troops against another country. And people agree to go into such a war without asking questions. What is the outcome? It's a serious predicament. Even in our homes, in our families, in our communities, the same thing. Crisis upon crisis in families or other institutions because people don't use their intellect. Nowadays, we have children ganging up with one of the parents against the other for no just cause because they fail to use their intellect to ask basic questions. There are so many things we are hearing from families that have become unstable in today's world. And dear brothers, my dear sisters, it's important for us to follow the commandment in the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The shaitan is always out there to mislead us. There's no doubt about that. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has warned us against that. That person you have obeyed may jolly well be your shaitan. That's why it's important for you not to listen to such instructions. Who is the shaitan after all? Many of us figure him out as a big black person hanging by the roadside trying to lure you to do what is wrong. No, your shaitan could just be your leader. Your shaitan could just be your own self. Your shaitan could just be the one who is in your home, whom you think is your closest person. That could be your shaitan. Anyone that leads you to do what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asks you not to do, that is your shaitan. And when he's leading you, he assures you that there will be no consequence. And that even if there is any consequence, he will be by your side. Listen to what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us in Surah Al-Hashr. كمثل الشيطان إذ قال للإنسان اكفر فلما كفر قال إني بريء منك إني أخاف الله رب العالمين. Like the shaitan that comes to a man or a woman and tells the man or woman, ikfur, disobey Allah. Don't go to do salah. Don't do zakat. Don't do this. Don't do that. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has asked you to do. And as soon as that person actually obeys the shaitan and the consequence of it comes on the day of accountability, shaitan will tell the person, you are on your own. Imagine a person who is driving on the road, for example. There's a red light there, which commands that you have to stop. But inside you is the shaitan pumping you and saying what? Go through the red light. There will be no consequence. Then you go through the red light. Before you know what is happening, either you hit somebody or there is a policeman by the corner and pulls you over. You're in trouble. What if you had exercised a little caution? What if you had applied a little bit of your intellect at that time to say, you know what? I have to obey the law. You wouldn't go through the mess you are going to go through as a result of your breaking that simple instruction of stopping at the red light. Remember the story of the Battle of Badr, for example. The people of Makkah, by their number, thought that it was going to be easy for them to defeat the believers. And the shaitan was pumping them towards that direction. They are so few, you could overrun them in a few minutes. And then they went for the battle. What happened at the end? Allah reported that in Surah Al-Araf. وَإِذْ زَيَّنَ لَهُمُ الشَّيْطَانُ أَعْمَالَهُمْ وَقَالَ لَا غَالِبَ لَكُمُ الْيَوْمَ مِنَ النَّاسِ وَإِنِّي جَارٌ لَكُمْ فَلَمَّا تَرَأَتِ فِئَتَانِ نَكَصَ عَلَى عَقِبَيْهِ وَقَالَ إِنِّي بَرِيءٌ مِنكُمْ إِنِّي أَرَىٰ مَا لَا تَرَوْنَ إِنِّي أَخَافُ اللَّهَ وَاللَّهُ شَدِيدُ الْعِقَابِ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, the shaitan pump them up, make their intended evil deeds seem good to them. And so they march out to attack the believers. And when they caught a glance at the other party, the two parties met. At that time, shaitan, realizing that they were going to be defeated, abandoned them and told them, you know what? I'm out of here. I'm out of here. I fear Allah. Therefore, you are on your own. My dear brothers, my dear sisters, that is how the shaitan mislead people. And this shaitan can be a human being. It can be your leader. It can be your supervisor. It can be your husband. It can be your wife. It can be your father. It can be your mother. Yes. It's up to you to use your common intellect to distinguish what is right from that which is wrong. Why? Because you are the one who is going to bear the pain of your own deeds. No one will help you bear that pain. Not even in the life of this world, and not even in the Akhirah when you meet Allah on the day of accountability. In Surah Ibrahim, which is chapter 14 of the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reminds us of what the shaitan will do to those who obey him in this world to do what is wrong. On the day of accountability, the shaitan will declare, Inna Allah wa'adakum wa'adal haqqo wa wa'adtukum fa'alaftukum wa ma kana li alaykum min sultan illa an da'awtukum fastajabtum li fala talumuni wa lumu anfusakum. On the day of accountability, the shaitan will stare those who follow his instruction. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala promised you a good promise. And I came to you with a fake promise. But you listened to me. I didn't come to you with any authority with the Quran, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala came to you with the Quran. I didn't come to you with any authority, but you followed me. Therefore, don't blame me, blame yourself. Today, I have no power over you. I have no benefit for you, and you have no benefit for me. I'm out of here. Surely those who do wrong will face the consequences of their wrong. Compare that to what is happening now. Those who are suffering now behind bars as a result of complying with the instruction given to them by their so-called leaders. My dear brothers, my dear sisters, let's learn to use our common sense, whether at home or outside. Use your common sense. Ask the question, what I'm about to do, is it permitted by Allah? And did the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam do it? If not, stay away from it. If it is, then go ahead and do it. That's how to know the Muslim. Don't let people mislead you to do that which is wrong, because at the end of the day, you will bear your own pain. They will not be there to bear your pain for you. Man amila swaliha falin nafsi. Oman asa faliha. Oman rebuka bizalami abi. Whoever does righteousness, he will get the reward. Whoever does evil, he will get the punishment of that evil. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to save us from doing what is wrong, that will bring punishment upon us. Again, Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, La ta'ata fi ma'siyatin innama ta'atun fi ma'ruf. There's no obedience in transgression. There's no obedience to anyone in doing what is wrong. The true obedience is in doing that which is right. And there's no obedience to any creature of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala when that creature asks you to do what is wrong. But there's obedience in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who created you. Follow what he has asked you to do and go ahead and do it. Even you, who is a child. The only reason why you must disagree with your parents is if they ask you to do what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asks you not to do. وَإِنْ جَاهَدَاكَ عَلَىٰ أَن تُشْرِكَ بِي مَا لَيْسَ لَكَ بِهِ عِلْمٌ فَلَا تُطِعْهُمَا وَصَاحِبْهُمَا فِي الدُّنْيَا مَعْرُوفًا وَاتَّبِعْ سَبِيلَ مَنْ أَنَابَ إِلَيَّ ثُمَّ إِلَيَّ مَرْجِعُكُمْ فَأُنَبِّئُكُم بِمَا كُنتُمْ تَعْمَلُونَ. Honor your parents. Honor them under any condition, except the situation where they ask you to do that which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asks you not to do. In that case, you can politely tell them, you know what? I cannot obey you, my dear father and my dear mother. Fear Allah, and remember that you are going back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And when you get back to Him, He will hold you to account. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to lead us to the straight path and take shaitan away from our life and take our life far away from the shaitan. Subhanallah wa bihamdik, wa naka Allahumma bihamdik, nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk.